The father of Gabby Petito was turning his family's tragedy into purpose and shining a light on the missing persons cases that are often ignored. When Joseph Petito's daughter went missing, he learned about the term missing white woman syndrome. That's when white crime victims receive more public attention than other demographics. Gabby's disappearance sparked a media frenzy in the summer of 2021. The 22-year-old was later found dead, killed by her fiancé. Well, now Joseph Petito is working on a TV series featuring those cases that don't get the same attention as his daughter's. It's called Faces of the Missing.
A woman from Long Island who disappeared.
Why is it so difficult to find her?
There's a lot of people that go missing that we never look for.
Her case sparked a call to action to bring others home.
I'm Joseph Petito. My beautiful daughter Gabby was killed by her boyfriend on a van life trip across country in a senseless act of domestic violence. When Gabby went missing, her story received a storm of media attention. Many called it missing white woman syndrome.
Why not the same media attention when people of color go missing?
That didn't sit well with me.
Now I'm advocating for all the faces of the missing.
Together, let's create awareness and serve justice.
Sounds sweet. Marker?
How has your life changed since the day Gabby went missing?
Other than that void that we can never fill anymore, my life has changed in a way that I didn't think was possible.
We all know who gets attention. We all know who gets coverage.
I'd like to see all missing people get the same attention.
The overwhelming support that people have given us empowers us to help as many people as we can.
We're not the type of people to just sit and do nothing.
And Joseph Petito joins us now. Joseph, great to have you today. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate your time.
So talk to us a little bit about first how you felt when you even first heard the term missing white woman syndrome. What were your thoughts?
I was taken back by it. I didn't like hearing it. I guess the way it was worded just didn't sit well with me. But that being said, I looked into it, and it's a real thing, but when it comes to missing people, a lot of stories don't get shared, and the ones that do always tend to look the same. So we're trying to fix that with Faces of the Missing.
And then at what point did you decide that not only is it a real issue, but that you personally want to get involved in trying to address it? I mean, how did you get involved with the new series, and what are you hoping it now achieves?
We had a bunch of production companies come to us and stuff like that, but only Backlot Productions and Boundless Films came to us, and they said, listen, we partnered with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and we really want to do this the right way and focus on the statistics of a missing person list, because the way it looks, the way the stories get shared seems to be one-sided, and we're gonna make sure that this goes the right way. And it really brought to me and to the family that, listen, we're trying to do this the correct way and help everybody, because we got help from everyone. So we're just trying to repay that.
And to that point, I just wanted to go over just a few statistics to really drive home the point that you're trying to make with the show. This is from FBI data from 2022, and it shows that Black people make up 31% of missing persons reports, but only make up 13% of the population. Meanwhile, white people account for 54% of missing persons reports, but 75% of the population. Joseph, based on your time now really understanding the issue, why do you think there's such a disparity when it comes to news coverage around missing people of color?
I get asked that question a lot. And to be honest, the way I answer it is, the blame doesn't really matter, because we know there's the issue. Now, how do we overcome that issue? And that's by making sure we share stories that not only touch us, but also, that don't look like us just the same. The more that we can do that, and the more that we can help, all the people when it comes to missing, the better off we will. I mean, people could sit at a table over there and really figure out where the problem was lying, but we're all about solutions, and that's what we're trying to do here. So we think this is going to be a great platform to not only show a lot of missing people the way it's, shown on the missing person list, but also hopefully inspire others to do the same.
Yeah. And what about law enforcement? How can they help break this missing white woman syndrome? What role do they play?
Oh, they play a significant role, but it's not only, on a negative. It's actually, the whole point of what we're trying to do is show best practices, things that maybe one area does, where they're very efficient, where another one might not. So if we can really, find out the best ways to help missing people, not only on the law enforcement side, but also on the cyber side, that's really where, this show is really going to take, to the next level. We want to engage with the cyber sleuths or the at-home, sleuths to really share stories, dive into them. I mean, we're going to have, not only on social media, but a tip line for all the information, for all these stories, because that's what helped us. A lot of people don't remember when Gabby went missing, the day after she was found, it snowed. Where if we didn't have the online help that we did, we might not have found her, because we would have to wait for that thaw to happen because it was in Wyoming. We might not have found her. So it really is important to get the cyber community and the true crime community behind this. And we're excited because we know it will.
Yeah. And you've said that you want this series to also combat the police classification of runaway. What do you mean?
Runaway, see, you can't classify someone a runaway unless you spoke to them and said, hey, listen, why are you not with your family anymore? And they're like, well, I just didn't want to be. Well, then you can classify them as a runaway. Unless you spoke to that individual, you're only guessing. And that's not something you should do with an investigation or when you're looking for somebody. So the term runaway should never be put on anybody unless you've spoken with that individual. And that's a best practice. Because a lot of the times, it's my understanding, the classification happens when the pigment of someone's skin is darker than mine, and that's just not okay. So again, sharing best practices and moving forward and finding out the best way to help everybody, that's what our goal is.
Yeah. And I can't help but wonder on this Christmas Eve, I know the holidays tend to be difficult when you've lost someone close to you. What do you think Gabby would say about this TV series and your efforts to bring attention to those often ignored?
She'd laugh. She'd say I had a face that's meant more for radio, not for TV. So I would agree. But with that being said, Gabby always tried to make people feel happy and better, so I think she would be proud that this is going to be part of her legacy. Listen, it's a shame because there's only so many stories we're probably going to be allowed to tell. We haven't found a home for this yet. There's been a lot of interest, and I think they're just trying to finalize some stuff. But that being said, hasn't found a home. The family would love to do this 52 weeks a year, every week, and just help as many people as possible. But we know that's probably not going to be the case. That being said, we want to share so many, and then hopefully we'll inspire others to do the same. And the more other stories can get shared, that's you're going to see a huge impact, and that's going to be lovely to see, man. These families deserve it. Everybody deserves the same attention.